Good morning. Thank you. As has been suggested, I'm chairing the meeting for a few minutes this morning. I want to begin, we have a really special meeting today, but I want to begin by honoring someone who has lived a distinguished public service career. He is a dedicated veteran. He is a proud Floridian. Jason A. Redding Quiñones is our newly appointed and confirmed United States Attorney for the Southern District of Florida. Mr. Redding Quiñones was appointed to this important role by the President of the United States and was officially sworn into office on August 13th of 2025. His selection and confirmation to lead one of the nation's most active and complex federal districts speaks volumes about his integrity, legal skill, and leadership. But long before that appointment, he had already built a record of service to our community and our country that deserves recognition. As a trial judge in the 11th Circuit, Judicial Circuit here in Florida, he presided over both civil and criminal domestic violence cases. We have today a domestic violence shelter in the audience. I don't know if you know that, Mr. U.S. Attorney, which we're giving $1 million to, God willing, assuming my commission backs it, of course. You can clap for that if you want. Where he has presided over these domestic violence cases with fairness and compassion. He's also served as a federal prosecutor and as a national security official with the U.S. Department of Justice, handling cases that directly affect the safety and security of our nation. Beyond the courtroom, Mr. Redding Quiñones is a veteran of more than 22 years in the United States military. This is unique. He has served in both the Army and the Air Force. I don't know too many people who have done that, in roles ranging from cavalry scout to judge advocate. Today, he continues that service as a reserve lieutenant colonel, advising U.S. Central Command on legal matters related to national security and counterterrorism. A graduate of the University of Florida and Florida International University College of Law. Yours truly is the opposite, right? Graduate of Florida International University and graduate of the University of Florida Levin College of Law. So we have that sort of in common, parallel. He represents the very best of what it means to serve with purpose, professionalism, and integrity. Today, it is our city's honor to present him with the key to the city of Miami, a symbol of trust, gratitude, and lasting respect. This gesture reflects the appreciation of a community that values leadership rooted in service. Mr. Redding Quiñones, we thank you for your work, your example, and your commitment to justice.
First of all, I would like to thank God, thank my wife, and thank my family. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's an incredible honor to receive the key to the city I'm from. As a Miami native, the person that I've become was built here, and I couldn't be more proud to get the city key. I'd also like to thank Mr. Mayor, to receive it from him, from a public servant that has had such a strong commitment to the city and to public safety. It's an incredible honor. So thank you all for your time. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Ralph. I appreciate it.
This one? Okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the City of Miami Commission meeting for October 23rd, 2025. I'm so happy to see all of you here, and thank you again for your advocacy. Now we are going to do a proclamation to honor one of WNBA's elite, Miss Sylvia Fowles. Woo! Woo! She has accomplished so much and is and man, I should have worn my taller heels today. Look at that. Look at that. But she is a role model, not just for her athleticism, but for what she is doing to move the sport forward and to also inspire young ladies throughout our country and abroad. And let's go, girl power. Girl power. Let's go. Because we excel everywhere. So I'm going to read a little bit of this for you. Whereas Sylvia Fowles, a proud daughter of the city of Miami and graduate of Miami's own Edison Senior High School. When I tell you District 5, that's in District 5, you know that's my district, okay, has risen to international prominence through her excellence, perseverance, and extraordinary compliments in the sport of basketball. And whereas Ms. Fowles' remarkable collegiate career at Louisiana State University paved the way for her legendary tenure in the Women's National Basketball Association, where she became one of the most decorated and dominant players in the league history. And whereas throughout her illustrious professional career, Sylvia Fowles earned 2 WNBA championships, was named WNBA Finals MVP twice, received 8 All-Star selections, and became the league's all-time leading rebounder, cementing her legacy as one of the greatest to ever play the game. And whereas beyond her on-court achievement, Ms. Fowles has displayed unparalleled humility and strength of character, serving as a role model to countless young athletes across the nation and remaining deeply rooted in service to her hometown community. And whereas her passionate involvement with the Miami Suns has provided mentorship and athletic opportunities to more than 200 student athletes, helping them earn college scholarships and advance their education over the past 15 years. And whereas Ms. Fowles' induction into the prestigious Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame marks not only a personal milestone, but a moment of proud pride for the entire city of Miami, demonstrating what is possible through discipline, heart, and faith in one's dreams. And despite her past humility in shying away from public accolades, her Hall of Fame recognition now gives us, her hometown, the unique opportunity to rightfully celebrate and honor her impact, inspiring future generations to follow her footsteps. Therefore, now, our mayor, Francis Suarez, and me, Chairwoman Christine King, and the rest of my colleagues have proclaimed Sylvia Fowles Day in the city of Miami. And in addition to all of that, she is also beautiful.
Uh-oh. I am a woman of very little words. I can't put into perspective what this moment means to me as a Miami native. Just as he said before me, I wouldn't be who I am today. So thank you to Miami, and thank you to the city of Miami for representing me today. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Okay. So the Mayor, Commissioner Pardo, and I, and the rest of the Commission, we recently had the opportunity to present a proclamation to Frankie Ruiz, who's the founder of the Brickell Run Club, for everything he's done for the last 15 years to really activate our community, to really promote health and welfare and the well-being of all of our residents here and those who love to come to Miami to make sure that they get exercise and fresh air and beautiful views. But Frankie was very, very generous, as he is, if you know him well, to make sure to point out that were it not for this other individual that we'd like to recognize, Brickell Run Club would not have been a reality. 15 years ago, the city, in partnership with the Downtown Development Authority, said, Frankie, we will support your dream, but how do we get hundreds or maybe even thousands of people to be able to assemble every single Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. in Brickell, in this very busy, very hectic area? How do we give these people a home for them to be able to meet up and run around this gorgeous city? Were it not for Edgardo de Fortuna, we would not have been able to do that. Edgardo started the Fortune International Company and his other companies beginning in 1983. So for several decades, he has been producing for us and moving us into being a global city with regard to the fiscal health of the city of Miami. But not only that, for the last 15 years, he's been promoting physical health. He is the home of the Brickell Run Club. Thank you for lending us your property, your energy, your enthusiasm, your love for this city, and allowing us to get healthier in partnership with Frankie and the Brickell Run Club and everybody who's been out there. If you haven't been out there on a Tuesday evening at 7 p.m., whether you're really quick or you like to walk, please join us any Tuesday of the year, 7 p.m. at Fortune International. Thank you, Edgardo, for everything you've contributed to our community for decades.
Thank you, Rafa. Thank you for all you do for us. I mean, I always say that even though we sell real estate, we don't sell real estate. We sell experiences, we sell community, we sell lifestyle in Miami. So to contribute to the lifestyle of Miami is my main goal. So thank you very much for honoring me.
Thank you. And the next organization that we would like to recognize is one that has been in our country for about 120 years as a nonprofit. They have been in Miami-Dade County for close to 70 years, and they've been located on Lejeune, just south of the airport in the city of Miami for almost a decade. Gail Nelson, if you would join us up here with everyone from Big Brothers Big Sisters. And if you'd like for everybody else from the organization to join us, that would be wonderful as well. By all means, come on up. Come on up. So as they're walking up here, I'll tell you a little bit about them. So when I was elected a few months ago, I learned that my predecessor, the late Manolo Reyes, was getting ready to recognize and to help sponsor funding for Big Brothers Big Sisters. They have a deep, deep footprint across our country and certainly in Miami-Dade County, which is one of the places where we needed this sort of mentorship the most. Yes, he was sponsoring an item, and unfortunately, he passed before the item was able to come up. But I wanted to make sure in his honor and for the good work that they've done to recognize them. So they help on an annual basis thousands of children and teens be able to partner up, and they're called Littles, right, affectionately called Littles, and they're able to partner up with mentors that provide them guidance. What these folks have done is nothing short of amazing. If you've never visited Big Brothers and Big Sisters, again, they're just south of the airport here in the city of Miami. Their work is exemplary. Their national track record of partnering folks up, kids that need that extra guidance, that extra assistance, that extra attention, that extra love, and maybe they're not able to necessarily receive it at home, these folks step in and they do the Lord's work. So Gail and everybody on your team. We are so deeply grateful for you. We are proud of you, and thanks so much for everything you contribute to the city of Miami and Miami-Dade County. Thank you, sir. You got
it. It takes little to be big. Those that are standing with me and behind me, but are really just a testament to the power of our community. Thank you all. We cannot do anything without the community support, the corporate support, the public servants. So thank you. We all got a little bit in common. And so let's continue to work together for the good of our Lotos, because they will pay us back. Thank you.
Good morning. It's a true honor to be here today as we celebrate some of Miami's most gifted young artists and filmmakers. Your creativity, your discipline, and the pride you show in your culture speaks volumes. And not just about who you are, but about the future of this city. Through your work, you're telling Miami's story, one of diversity, resilience, and boundless talent. Latino Art Beat has been a powerful force in helping young people find their voice through the arts. I'm proud that with the city's continued support, we've been able to award more than $1.5 million in scholarships to help students like you follow your dreams. To each of today's honorees, congratulations. You inspire us. Barbara's a professional clapper. She gets everybody going. She's like the greeter, you know, or I think in cruise ships there's like dancers. You hire people to dance, get everybody on the dance floor. What are they called? I don't know. Anyways, to each of today's honorees, congratulations. You inspire us, and we're proud to stand with you as you continue to grow, create, and lead. Thank you, and keep making Miami proud.
As the national president of Latino Art Beat, first of all, I want to thank the city of Miami for supporting this program for over 20 years. And Mayor Suarez has diligently honored all of these talented young artists every single year of his term. So I'd like to applaud the mayor today as a change. Also, I want to thank Miami-Dade County Public Schools, the Bureau of Tourist and the Tourist Bureau, who've been very supportive, the Hyatt Regency Hotel, and all of the schools through Miami-Dade County Public Schools that have participated with us. You can applaud, that's okay. One last statement. While we've given $1.5 million to talented young kids here in Miami, we have awarded over $6 million nationally. Un aplauso.
Chief? 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 The chief has a presentation to make, but I want everyone to join me in wishing the chief a happy birthday. Happy birthday! May God continue to bless you all the days of your life.
Trying to look good.
You're a Libra like me. I'm October 6th.
No. I'm a Scorpio. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it.
Chief. You don't, Chief, over here. You don't look a day over 70. You look great.
Thank you, sir. So thank you very much, everybody. It's been 55 years, been blessed to be on this earth. God has blessed me with the absolute honor of a lifetime to be able to serve the people of Miami and do, what I love each and every day. So I couldn't ask for anything more of my birthday. And a large part of that honor and that privilege has been due to our mayor. And I know time is coming to an end, sir. Your long, illustrious career, your iconic time in the city, it's coming to an end. And I'm sure that what God has plans for you installed for the future is going to be even grander. So myself and Chief Hevia from the fire department just want to give you a little token of our appreciation. You have always been a steadfast supporter of public safety. And I know that you are an avid cigar smoker, like I am. I know these might not be your favorites, but this were done with caring and love. They have your own label on them. And the plaque reads, Mayor Francis X. Suarez, your commitment to the safety, well-being, and future of our city has been clearly demonstrated in your decisions, your vision, and willingness to partner with our departments in the service of the public. Thank you for making Miami healthy, vibrant, and safe. May God bless you in all your future endeavors, you and your family. Thank you for everything.
Thank you, Chief. This is very timely because I just got a new batch of cigars yesterday and I ran out of humidor space. So it's perfect. As the Chief said, and I'm glad my family's here because I'm going to tell a couple of stories. I've learned in life that to communicate effectively is to tell good stories in many ways. And I'm going to tell a story about the fire department, fire rescue, and I'm going to tell a story about the police department. I'm going to try not to get emotional because they both involve my family. One day, I get a call from someone at my wife's work that my wife was having sort of a panic attack. And, of course, it got to a point where, unfortunately, they had to call 911. And the first responders arrived quickly. They were very effective. They were comforting her. And one of the firefighters on scene, I don't know if I ever told you the story, was Danny Alvarez. And unfortunately, we lost Danny, too young. And I remember him getting on the phone and comforting me. Now, you have to understand, Danny was about 6'2", and he was a calendar model. Okay, like the calendar firefighter models. So he's telling me, don't worry, your wife is okay, your wife is okay. And I said, Danny, I'm not worried about my wife. I'm worried about you being around my wife. And, Danny was just a really special guy with an incredible smile, an incredible personality. And he's survived by his brother, Manny, who's a priest at St. Teresa and the pastor of St. Teresa Church. And then, so I'm grateful for the work that our fire department, our fire rescue department does every single day. I was on scene with the largest fire probably in the history of our generation, or at least in our generation, or in many, many decades. This year, or last year, And the fire rescue department, I don't think people realize how often they have to go out and everything that they have to attend to, from the most minor things to the most traumatic things on a given day. And they have to do that over and over and over again. And I have to talk about my police department. When I was about my son's age, I heard a strange noise in my house. I walked into the room where I heard the noise coming from, and I saw two people with guns pointed at my mother's head and at my grandmother's head. As a frightened young boy, obviously the first instinct when I knew I couldn't do anything to help them was to go call the police. My father immediately jumped into action, helped rescue my sisters, and confront the danger. But literally every single police officer who probably was working in the city of Miami that day showed up in my house within what felt like 1 minute. And what I remember of the story was that they made a human chain, elbow to elbow, to get my family and I out of our house from a pretty large distance. So there were many, many officers who were risking their lives. And my recollection was that their backs were to the danger. And I was walking through with my family through the chain link. And I could see through their elbows dogs, the police dogs, coming through our house to see if the guys were still in the house. That's the danger they confront every day. Just a week ago, we had 2 weeks ago, we had 2 of our officers shot, one in the ankle and one, I think, in the knee area. Yeah. I think sometimes maybe we don't remember or realize just the kind of risk that these people take for the pay that they make. And so one of the things I'm very proud of is not just every time I see them out in the street, which I always go out of my way to say hello to them, whether they be in the fire department or the police department. And I love their energy. I love the look in their eyes. They just have this intensity about them, this calm about them, that to me is a function of the training that they've received. And then, you know, both my chiefs, I'll talk about the manager later, wherever you are. He's hiding, of course, like always. Both my chiefs are workhorses, not show horses. I don't know if anybody can understand the difference, but I've been around now. I used to not have white hairs, Terry, you know? And one of the things I've learned in life and leadership and running a big organization is you want workhorses, you don't want show horses. You want people who put their head down. You want people who put the organization first. You want people who put the mission first, not their own ego, not their own brand, whatever that means, right? And that's what we have here. We have 2 men who are completely dedicated, all in. There isn't a time in the day when I can't get a hold of them. There isn't a piece of information that I can't get from them efficiently and quickly. There isn't an executive decision they don't make that I don't support. And it's never about them. It's not about getting in front of a camera. It's not about a press conference. It's not about having a national profile. It's about doing the work and keeping our streets safe. And when I first got elected, I never told this story. I decided that I wanted to run, thank you, baby. I wanted to run a 5K every time there was a homicide in the city, exactly 24 hours to the minute after it happened. So if a homicide happened on a Monday morning at 3 o'clock in the morning, guess what? Tuesday morning, I was running. Tangela's in the audience. She's shaking her head. Tuesday morning, I was running at that exact moment, precisely to the second, a 5K that would end and begin on that very spot. Because of people like Tangela Sears, who had to lose their child. And if you notice before you go into my office, there's a mural that's painted by Cheetah Reagan, or who goes by Vontae Black, and it's a mural of African American children that we lost in our community to gun violence. And so for 3 months, every single homicide, I would run exactly 24 hours after, exactly to the second after, exactly to the place where it happened, because I wanted to send a message. And the message was that if the mayor of Miami would have been standing in that very place 24 hours to the second, I would have been shot. So what happened there is not normal. It's not acceptable, and it will not be tolerated. And I have to say that the entire department, which has, I think, 1,400 or so officers now, about 700 or so, I don't know, my numbers might be dated now, 800 firefighters, 2,300 people that are fully dedicated to keep us safe, keep us well. And our homicide rate when I got here was somewhere in the 80s. In 1980, when I was 3 years old, it was 220. In 1946, when we started recording homicides, the first year that we have records for it was 31. Last year was 27. This year we're at 24. So we continue to do the work, we continue to work hard, we continue to challenge ourselves, we continue to not accept the status quo. And we have an incredible team. I just want you to know, when you go out there every single day, when you see a police officer, when you see a firefighter, please just say hello to them, say thank you to them, and give them your respect. Thank you, and God bless you.
Before we take the picture, Francis, our mayor, he really thinks his family is showing up for the fire chief and the police chief, which was, yeah, that's really nice. But I, as the chairwoman of the city of Miami, want to give you the key to the city. It's not easy trying to surprise this guy because his chief of staff almost got fired because he wanted to do something else, and we've been coordinating this, but I wanted him to get the key to the city because he has been a fantastic mayor and leader for the city of Miami. I know we're on the precipice of getting a new mayor, but I want to tell you from the bottom of my heart that you have been the best. And I hope that whoever takes the mantle next does well by the city the way that you did. You have brought so much love and light, and your administration is awesome. Our manager, our police chief, our fire chief, all of the workers in all of the departments, and that's because you unify us. No matter what's going on, you bring us together, all of us, my colleagues, Commissioner Rosado, Commissioner Pardo, Commissioner Miguel, Angel Gabella, Commissioner Carollo. We are not always an easy bunch, but he is able to communicate with all of us so that we can get the work of the city done. He has elevated Miami to international status, and no one asked me, but if I had to tell anyone, if I had to give you a grade, I will give you an A, but not just an A, an AP Honors A. So thank you, and know that you always have this key to our city, and I will always, always be your friend. And I'm honored to say that, because in this journey through public service, you don't meet a lot of genuine people. You don't take away a lot of friends. When you are out of office, your phone stops ringing and people stop answering your call. But this guy, I will always pick up his call. And I think he'll always answer mine. And I'm so honored to be able to do this for you, because you deserve it. You really do deserve it. And I'm going to turn the mic over to every single one of my colleagues, because I think they feel the same way. Again, thank you for your service, and thank you to your family for sharing you with us, because it is a huge, huge commitment and pull, and sometimes our family suffers for that, because you're not as present as you should be or could be. My mom, who I don't call enough, but the city is better for your service.
Mr. Mayor, thank you for your leadership, for 16 years of nonstop commitment to the city. As the chairwoman said, thanks to your family, because it does take, it's a team effort. This is, you did an exemplary job, but it took the entire family to be behind you and at your side and at the front and holding the key and holding everything else to make sure that you can get it all done and give back as much as you did. More importantly, thank you for your friendship for many, many years.
Mr. Mayor, I want to thank you, first of all. As you know, we started off bumpy in this journey, but I want to say that you have proven to me and to our district and to our residents your strong commitment and care for all of us. There isn't one thing that our office did that you did not champion and you did not help us create a coalition to be able to pass. From Miami Marine Stadium, from affordable housing that we're trying to pass, from things at Omni CRA, from election reform. I mean, I could just go right down the line of everything we have done for 2 years, and you have been a huge part of it. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you on behalf of our office and all of our residents. Please, I know you will go on to do amazing things. And the fact that you championed term limits says a lot about you and says a lot about our governing body, that we are choosing to limit our power in a time when we don't see this anywhere in our country. So thank you very much, Mayor.
I want to sincerely thank the mayor for his work. I wish him sincerely good luck. But one of the things I admire you about, Mayor, that through the good times and the bad times, you always remain positive, and that's hard to do in this business. So we want to thank you for that. And very good. But I wish you the best. My family wishes you the best in your family, and I know you'll go on to bigger and better things. So congratulations.
I love you, Dad, and I wish all of you. I'm sorry. I wish we could be here for all of you forever, and I wish good luck for the next mayor. Let's make Miami the best city in the world.
Okay, I'm going to try to be brief, and I'm going to try not to cry. As you can see, I'm a crier. First and foremost, I think everyone understands you have to thank God and give him the greater glory. I've been blessed with a gift, which is my faith, and Keith in the back there knows. We prayed together many, many times. That doesn't mean I'm perfect in my faith. I wish I was. It's always a constant battle, a constant, struggle. But I've always noticed that the closer I am to God, the better things are in my life. And when you talk about being positive, Commissioner, sometimes it's also about being centered so that when the tough times comes, you can also be positive through those difficult times. I was at a father-son mass the other day, and people always talk about God, but they never talk about the devil. Right? Interesting, right? And we're at this mass, and Father Willie, who is the priest and the principal for Belen Jesuit Prep School, where he's the president, sorry, where my son goes to school, was saying that in Greek, the translation for the word devil in Greek is divider. He wants to divide us from each other. He wants to divide us from our family. He wants to divide us from what's good for us. And he wants to divide this city. And I've tried my very, very best, day in and day out, to bring us together and to unify us. I want to thank my wife and my family. Very difficult when you have two alpha females and a wife and a mom. Because if you get it wrong, the order, you're going to sleep in a different part of your house. So what can I say about my wife? She's tolerated me and put up with me for 20 years. In the good times and the bad times. When you talk about the vows that you read at your wedding, she has embodied those vows. She has lived those vows. She has always been committed to those vows. And it hasn't always been easy. It hasn't always been easy. This is, as some of the commissioners said, this is not an easy life. This is not the easy part of my life, I can tell you that much. But she has weathered every storm with me. She's been there with me in the best of moments, in the brightest of moments, and she's been there with me in the darkest of moments. And I know that I can say something similar for my father and my mother, because he's told me that, and he's confided in me that in the past that my mother has served that same role in his life. And it's something that, again, I wouldn't be here without my wife. She's my partner. She's my best friend. I would not have made it this far. And she's, again, seen me at my best and at my worst. So I love you, and I'm so grateful for you. Thank you. Not to mention, as you can see from my son, she's an amazing mother, right? To my two children, Andrew, who's obviously a articulate and verbose and not shy child, and my daughter, the carrier of the key. Both of you inspire me tremendously. I wake up every day thinking about how to make a city that's going to work for you guys. And I don't think just about you guys. I think about the you guys in every other family that we have to make sure our city functions for, whether it's taking care of the most vulnerable, like what Constance does, and those who are abused of and taken advantage of, or making sure that kids and adults and young adults have educational opportunities, or affordable housing, or safety. Whatever the case may be, I'm always thinking about the next generation and what kind of a city are they going to inherit. Are we really going to have a Miami that's here forever? Are we really going to have a Miami that's here for everyone? And so that's what's tried to shape my policies and my energies and my vision. And so I thank you guys, because you guys inspire me every single day. I got to go to my parents, I got to go to my colleagues. I have like a little list in my head. To my parents, similar to my wife, they've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? They've seen me in moments of, incredible triumph. They've followed this journey with me and guided me throughout the journey. And they've also been there to pick up the pieces when everything falls apart. You know what I mean? So I actually feel sorry for the people who crossed my mother, some of which have encountered her today already. there is no person more loyal to me, more loyal to what we represent as a family, what we represent as a city, than my mother. And she doesn't suffer fools very easily. So I hope you don't cross her, because you're going to hear it. In terms of my father, in terms of my father, what can I say? You know, there's a lot of things I can say about my dad, aside from him being my hero and my role model and someone who I've looked up to. To me, it really comes down to two things, or three things, now that I think about it. But let's go Trinitarian, right? Let's go three things. I think the first is his intellect. I don't think anyone can dispute the capabilities that my father has, the number of books he's written. I always say I'm a lot smarter through osmosis, because just listening to him over the years has improved my IQ dramatically. I think the second thing I want to say is, you know, my father demonstrated a hyper-ethical conduct when nobody was looking. And I think that, for me, was particularly impactful. He reminded me that, yes, somebody is looking when nobody is looking. And he just had this moral code that he was rigidly affixed to. And I remember the story, I told him the story the other day, I don't even know if he remembers it. One day I got home from, I was probably about Andrew's age again, and I don't know if you guys remember back in the day, these brown cable boxes with a little red window, right, where you would change the channel in the cable box, right? And we come in one day, and I turn on the TV, and we have all the channels. Showtime, Cinemax, HBO, all of a sudden. And I am like a kid in a candy store. I get to watch all the movies. And my dad gets home that day from work, and I'm overjoyed. You know, I go up to my dad and I say, hey, we got all the channels. You know, like, can you believe this? This is a miracle. And his face changed immediately. I could tell that he was upset. And he literally picked up the phone right then and there, because he knew that the cable companies had a franchise agreement with the city. And he called the cable company right then and there. Nobody was watching. I was the only one that saw it. And he said, I pay basic cable. I want basic cable. I don't want one program more than what I paid for. Just so that no one can ever say that anyone is influencing him to do the wrong thing. And he didn't have to do that. Nobody would have noticed. Nobody would have cared. And then I think the last thing I want to say about him, and I'll move on, is, you know, everybody here works hard. We put in a lot of hours. And when we get home, we're tired. And let me tell you something. I can't remember a time that I got home and wanted to play basketball that my dad told me no. I can't remember a game that he didn't go to, even if it was in another county. And so I was lucky, because my best friend growing up was my father. And I know a lot of people can't say that in their families. So I count that as a massive blessing. My sisters, I often say, you know, we live sort of like this alternative Brady Bunch lifestyle, because my parents have been married for 50 years approximately, 48. My wife's parents have been married for about the same amount of time. I have 3 sisters. They're all married, thankfully, you know, to their first husbands, and the same for her siblings. So we live this almost idyllic family life. And I've often said to people, and I think some of the commissioners mentioned this, that our support system in life is so critical to our success. Each other's family, our friends. My friends aren't here today, but, you know, my friends are incredibly important to me. I have friends since I was 2 years old, literally, and I made friends throughout my journey, throughout my life. I still keep making friends. I remember my grandmother, who was a very influential person in my life, used to tell me about her brother Tito. She used to say, Tito wasn't a millionaire, but he had 1 million friends. And what friend wouldn't give you $1? Right? So, you know, my friends, my colleagues on the commission, I've served for 16 years, and what I can say invariably about each and every one of you, all of you, every single one of you, is there isn't a colleague that I've worked with as mayor or as a commissioner that I haven't learned from. There isn't one that I haven't learned something from. And learning from that person has made me a better person. Whether I like them, whether I don't like them, whether I like them in a moment, whether I don't like them in a moment, every single one of them has been a source of teaching for me. And because of every single one of them, I'm a better person. So I'm grateful for that, for all of you. And I love you all. I already talked about my chiefs. So now I got to talk about my manager, another workhorse. It's the number one lesson I've learned in life. When you want to have an organization that works, you got to get people that care about the work, that care about the mission, that aren't ego-driven, that are honorable, that are ethical. Art embodies all of those things. He's been a true friend. We were joking the other day that I've only had 2 managers. And to be frank, if it were up to me, I would only have 1 manager, and it's him. He's been a great partner, someone that I can trust. How hard is it to say trust in this business sometimes? Someone I can trust, someone that I know has always had my back, someone that I know understands the role of the mayor and the role of the manager. There are 2 different roles. I'm the CEO, he's the COO. He has a lot of influence and authority in his job, but he's never made me feel like I don't have a role to play. And he's always given me the deference, because I believe deep down in his heart, he understands that my authority doesn't come from me. It comes from the people that I serve that gave me this authority. And I guess finally, after just about everybody, I want to thank my bosses, the people of the city of Miami. Yes. He wants me to tell another story about my dad. About how we used to go to 7-Eleven and get big gulps, and I used to get a Slurpee, and I take him now to get salty donuts after soccer practice. You got it in there, buddy. My bosses, all of you, my bosses. A lot of people forget history. You know, we live in a 24-hour news cycle. Stuff comes in, it goes out, you forget. And I don't think people remember, I know a lot of you do, and Ralph was around during that time too, that when I first ran for office, I'll never forget the first poll that I looked at. My opponent was at 34%. I was at 9%. And I had already been a year running for office. My dad thought I was crazy. And I started walking door to door. And I did something that a lot of elected officials don't do. I listened. And based on what I heard and based on what I absorbed, I built a platform and I built an agenda. And based on that agenda, it's where we find ourselves today. I still have those shoes up there. They're Cole Haan's Nike collaboration. And they're really worn out. They have holes. And I walk tens of thousands of houses. But I can tell you that that fire that I went through forged who I am as a person. Because the rejection, the having to explain yourself and sell your vision and sell who you are and convince people that you're the right guy. And by the way, I was 30 years old. I had no white hairs. I was 30. My opponent, who was a commissioner, and God rest his soul, Commissioner Reyes, was in his 60s at the time, right? So he was the experienced candidate, and I was selling something new. And so I was elected. Okay, I'm going to them after. I was elected by 260 votes to that city council, to the city commission. And I don't know how many people fit in the audience here. How many people fit in the audience? What's the capacity? 108. So if 131 people, almost the entirety, probably with the people standing, we're probably at 131. I bet you if we counted it, by the grace of God, we'd be exactly at 131. If 131 people would have changed their mind, I wouldn't be here today. I would not be here today. I had no intention of running a second time if I wasn't successful. That wasn't my path. But the Lord had other plans, and we confronted a deficit that was at the time seemed massive and insurmountable. And we did something difficult. We cut costs, something that governments don't do. We didn't fire anybody. We didn't lay anybody off. Today we find ourselves with the lowest tax rate in history, millage rate, highest reserves in history, highest bond rating in history, the best credit. We got an 800 credit score, right? All the while we have the lowest unemployment in America, the highest median wage growth in America. We have the lowest homeless rate in 11 years, and we will get to zero, ladies and gentlemen. We will have functional zero homelessness in the city of Miami. And all the while, we have the safest big city in America. Oh, and by the way, we're also ranked the happiest city in America and the healthiest city in America. Yeah, I talk about this a lot. I talk about it a lot because I'm proud. I'm proud of this city. This is not a Francis Suarez accomplishment. This is my boss's accomplishment. My bosses were the ones that did this. To the extent that I was involved, I was guiding the ship, steering the ship at times, trying to set a course, navigating. But it was my bosses that were the engine. It was the people of the city of Miami that were the engine of this change, of this prosperity. So yes, I am very proud of it. And by the way, in the world, you can narrative build all you want, but you cannot dispute facts, right? You can tell stories to yourself all you want, but you can't. Are you telling me to stop? Is that what's going on? You might give me the hook? Girl, just remember what the charter says, who the chairman is, okay? Some of your candidates here will remind you. So I'm going to wrap up before I get hooked, okay? This is your fault. You give me that huge key. I mean, I can speak forever, you know? I would be remiss if I did not finish by thanking my Sergeant at Arms. My Sergeant at Arms are members of my family, from Albert Garcia, who was my first Sergeant at Arms, to Alex Lampro, who was probably the one that I was with the longest, and the most hours, and did the most for me, to the ones that I have now, Stanley, Pierre, Yamil, and Andrea, who every day hopefully see me in a good mood. I say 80-90% of the time. The 10% of the time they know to look the other way. But no, these are people who not only protect me, I love them, I lean on them, I draw energy from them. I think they are incredibly professional. I trust them, and I put my life and the life of my family in their hands, and the life of my home. And so I'm just incredibly grateful. They put in a lot of hours. I always remind them, there's several of them, but there's only one of me. So if they complain about their hours, I'm doing all the hours. But they're very gracious about it. I never hear them complain. They always have a smile on their face, and they're always down for whatever. So I really appreciate them. Madam Chair, thank you so much for letting me go on. God bless you. Oh, my staff. You see, she just said Sergeant at Arms. I didn't see the staff. Okay. You see? Girl, I'm going to keep talking. Thank you. My staff. You're going to let me say that. Okay. So my staff. Wow. I almost blew it there because I would have had to go back upstairs. So this tie that I'm wearing, one of my friends showed up here. This tie that I'm wearing was given to me on my birthday, October 6th, just a couple weeks ago. And I want to, from here, say happy birthday to Nancy Dawkins, who's 102. Nancy, I love you. I'm sorry I couldn't be there on your birthday. I know it upset you, but I love you. This tie was given to me by my staff. I was once told, I think you guys know me well. I used to take a lot of pride and energy I work out. You know, I try to eat right. I try to get rest. So I'm always trying to figure out how I can be more productive, right? How can I be more productive? How can I get more out of myself? And one day somebody told me, it was a light bulb moment. They said, you got to read this book by Pat Riley. I would suggest every single one of you read it. It's called The Winner Within. The Winner Within by Pat Riley. And what Pat Riley talks about is there's only so much you can get out of yourself. Let's assume that we're perfectly efficient. We sleep the right amount, we eat exactly the right things, and we work out exactly to the right extent. So we're perfect in our efficiency. We're still limited. We're one person. We got to get up at a certain time. We got to go to bed at a certain time. But if you can get the team to do more, you're multiplying your impact. And so I've had a phenomenal staff ever since I was a commissioner. All my chiefs of staff have been amazing. I'm afraid if I start saying their names, I'm going to forget one. My chiefs of staff have been amazing. Carlos is the most liked guy right now in City Hall. And everybody loves Carlos. It's like there should be like a TV show. Everybody loves Carlos. But I have a great staff. My staff, what I've tried to do to them is inspire them and transmit my passion for the city to them. And they've embodied that, and I see it in the way that they work. They don't clock in. They work weekends a lot of times. They work incredible amount of hours. And, this has been a dream come true for me. I believe I am, at least according to the wall of mayors that we put out there, the first Miami-born mayor. 70% of the people in the city were not born in the city. Raise your hand if you were born in the city of Miami proper. Jackson Hospital or Mercy Hospital, one of those. It's about right. Sears close enough. It's about 70-30. It's about 70-30. But I was born in this city, and it's been a privilege of my life to spend 8 years as a son of the mayor, a little bit older than my son is now and that my daughter is, so hopefully they'll have memories of my time. The beauty of it is I remember my dad's time well, but there wasn't social media, so I can only see a couple of his interviews. Now my kids can see everything that we've done. We've chronicled it for the history books. Every single thing is on social media, so they'll be able to go back and see all of it. And the beauty of it is, to your point, Commissioner Gabriela, it's all positive, right? And so that's what we will remember. It's like I'm not going to say that because my wife will get upset. I'll say like an ex-girlfriend, but only remember the good times. I know. Sorry, babe. I'm going to hear that one later. But it's really been the honor of my life to dedicate myself for literally half my life, 8 years as the mayor's son, 16 years out of 48 years. That's 24 out of 48. That's 50% of my life I've been in this building. And people often ask me two things. They ask me, what's it going to feel like? And what are you going to do next? So what's it going to feel like? I really don't know. I don't think about it a lot. I try not to think about it a lot. I try to focus on getting the most out of every day for you all. And that one day I know I'm going to have to turn off that light and I'm not going to go back in. And that's okay. And as far as what I'm going to do next, I'm going to hopefully unite myself with God's purpose for me, whatever that is. Thank you. You guys can hold it. You guys hold it. Oh, careful, don't drop it. Hold it up so I can see it, because if not, it's going to be blocked by that. Okay, then let me hold it. You guys get on my sides, so that way they can see it, but then, yeah, exactly.
Anna, Maya.
have one more surprise.
Staff, please stay. Please stay, staff. How can we say thanks for the wonderful things you've done for us? Things so undeserved, yet you served to prove your love for us. The voices of a million angels could not express our gratitude, because all that you are and all that you'll ever be, you owe it all to thee. To God be the glory. To God be the glory. To God be the glory for the things He has done.
Get your humidor. Get your humidor. Thank you all. Thank you all for allowing us to celebrate our mayor. At this time, we are going to have prayer. Today we have Pastor Kirk Yearby, who is going to... Where'd he go? He's coming. As is tradition now, and I hope it continues to be a tradition, we begin our meetings with prayer, because God changes things and makes us better. Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you, Chairwoman. Give me all the honor to God who is first, to the mayor, Chairwoman King, all the commissioners on the desk, and city officials and great people of Miami. If you will just bow your heads for a moment. Father God, in the name of Jesus, we come before you right now. Lord God, saying thank you. Thank you for a day that you have made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. Realizing that you are God and you are God all by yourself. And God, without you, we can do absolutely nothing. But with you, all things are possible. Father God, we thank you for this great city, Lord God. We thank you for the men and women that you have blessed us with, Father God, to lead us through this trying time, God. We thank you for those that you have given us as messengers and sent them, Lord God, to do your will, your way, and your word. So, Father God, as we continue to move forward, we continue to ask you to hold us in the hollow of your own hand, Lord God. Keep us in the hollow of your hand. Protect us and hold us up. Father God, as we go forward in your name, in your will, in your way. In Jesus' name, amen.
And at this time, we're going to say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Thank you. Mr. City Attorney, would you please read your statement for the record?
Thank you, Madam Chair. May it please the Miami Commission, George Wysong, City Attorney, City of Miami. Detailed information about the processes, order of business, rules of procedure, and scheduling or rescheduling of City Commission meetings can be found in Chapter 2, Article 2 of the City Code, a copy of which is available online at www.municode.com. Any person who is a lobbyist pursuant to Chapter 2, Article 6 of the City Code must register with the City Clerk and comply with related city requirements for lobbyists before appearing before the City Commission. A person may not lobby a city official, board member, or staff member until registering. A copy of the code section about lobbyists is available in the City Clerk's office or online at www.municode.com. Any person making a presentation, formal request, or petition to the City Commission concerning real property must make the disclosures required by the City Code in writing. A copy of the City Code section is available at the office of the City Clerk or online at www.municode.com. The City of Miami requires that anyone requesting action by the City Commission must disclose, before the hearing, any consideration provided or committed to anyone for agreement to support or withhold objection to the requested action pursuant to City Code Section 2-8. Any documents offered to the City Commission that have not been provided 7 days before the meeting as part of the agenda materials will be entered into the record at the City Commission's discretion. In accordance with Section 2-33F and G of the City Code, the agenda and material for each item on the agenda is available during business hours at the City Clerk's office and online 24 hours a day at www.miamigov.com. The meeting of the Miami City Commission is a limited public forum. Any person may be heard by the City Commission through the chair for not more than 2 minutes on any proposition before the City Commission unless modified by the chair. Public comment will begin at approximately 10 a.m. and remain open until public comment is closed by the chairperson. Any person making offensive remarks or becomes unruly in the Commission chambers will be barred from further attending City Commission meetings and may be subject to arrest. No clapping, applauding, heckling, or verbal outbursts in support or opposition to a speaker or his or her remarks shall be permitted. No signs or placards shall be allowed in the Commission chambers. Persons exiting the Commission chambers shall do so quietly. Members of the public wishing to address the body may do so by submitting written comments via the online comment form. Please visit www.miamigov.com/meeting instructions for detailed instructions on how to provide public comment using the online public comment form. The comments submitted through the comment form have been and will be distributed to the elected officials, their staff, and city administration throughout the day so that the elected officials may consider the comments prior to taking any action. Additionally, the online comment form will remain open during the meeting to accept comments and distribute to the elected officials, their staff, and the city administration up until the chairperson closes public comment. Public comment may also be provided here live at City Hall located at 3500 Pan American Drive, Miami, Florida, subject to any and all city rules as they may be amended. If the proposition is being continued or rescheduled, the opportunity to be heard may be at such later date before the City Commission takes action on such proposition. When addressing the City Commission, the member of the public must first state their name, their address, and what item will be spoken about. Any person with a disability requiring assistance, auxiliary aids, and services for this meeting may notify the City Clerk. The City has provided different public comment methods to indicate, among other things, the public support, opposition, or neutrality on the items and topics to be discussed at the City Commission's meeting in compliance with Section 286.0114 (4) Florida statutes. The public has been given the opportunity to provide public comment during the meeting and within reasonable proximity and time before the meeting. Please note, commissioners have generally been briefed by city staff and the city attorney's office on items on the agenda today. Anyone wishing a verbatim record of an item considered at this meeting may request it at the Office of Communications or view it online at www.miamigov.com. For planning and zoning items, PZ items shall proceed according to Section 7.1.4 of the Miami 21 zoning ordinance. Parties for any PZ items, including any applicant, appellant, appellee, city staff, and any person recognized by the decision-making body as a qualified intervener, as well as the applicant's representatives and any experts testifying on behalf of the applicant, appellant, or appellee, may be physically present here at City Hall to be sworn in by oath or affirmation by the City Clerk. The members of the City Commission shall disclose any ex parte communications to remove the presumption of prejudice pursuant to Florida Statute Section 286.0115 and Section 7.1.4.5 of the Miami 21 zoning ordinance. The order of presentation shall be as set forth in Miami 21 and in the City Code. Staff will briefly present each item to be heard. The applicant will present its application or request to the City Commission. If the applicant agrees with the staff recommendation, the City Commission may proceed to its deliberation and decision. The applicant may also waive the right to an evidentiary hearing on the record. For appeals, the appellant will present its appeal to the City Commission, followed by the appellee. Staff will be allowed to make any recommendation they may have. Please silence all cell phones and other noise-making devices. This meeting can be viewed live on Miami TV, the city's Facebook page, the city's Twitter page, the city's YouTube channel, and Comcast Channel 77. The broadcast will also have closed captioning. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Mr. City Clerk?
Thank you, Chair. The procedures for individuals who are providing testimony to be sworn in for planning and zoning items and any quasi-judicial items on today's City Commission agenda will be as follows. The members of City staff or any other individuals required to be sworn in who are currently present at City Hall will be sworn in by me, the City Clerk, immediately after I finish explaining these procedures. Those individuals who are appearing remotely may be sworn in now or at any time prior to the individual providing testimony for planning and zoning items and or quasi-judicial items. Commissioners, are you comfortable with all notice provisions set forth in these uniform rules of procedures we have established for this meeting?
Yes,
Chair, may I administer the oath of the planning and zoning items?
please.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. If you will be speaking on any of today's planning and zoning items, those are the PZ items. May I please have you stand and raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give at today's hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? And your response is? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Mr. City Manager, are there any items on this agenda that will be withdrawn or deferred?
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners, Mr. City Attorney, Mr. City Clerk. At this time, the administration would like to defer and or withdraw the following items. It's a fairly long list, so I'll kind of go slow so you can capture them all. CA3 to be deferred to December 11th. RE2 to be deferred to December 11th. RE3 to be withdrawn. RE7 to be deferred. Probably to the next meeting. I'm assuming I didn't have a date for that deferral, but I'll take some direction from
Let's do it indefinite deferral so we can bring it back whenever we want.
Okay. RE17 to be indefinitely deferred. SR1 to be deferred to December 11th. FR1 to be deferred to December 11th. FR2 to be deferred to December 11th. FR3 to be deferred to December 11th. FR4 to be deferred to December 11th. FR5 to be deferred to December 11th. DI4 to be withdrawn. PZ2 to be deferred to November 20th. And PZ13 to be deferred to November 20th. That concludes the items for deferral, withdrawal, or indefinite deferral. There are a couple of corrections that I need to state on the record. FR7 will be heard as a resolution, not an ordinance. That was an error in the publishing of the agenda. And DI5, which is the permitting enhancements update on implementation of the new permitting enterprise solution, is an item from my office, is a city manager's item, and it's being co-sponsored by the District 4 Commissioner, Ralph Rosado.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. I'm going to ask my colleagues now, starting with Commissioner Pardo. Are there any items that you would like to withdraw or defer?
No.
Commissioner Gabella?
Give me a minute here. Not right now.
Commissioner Rosado?
Yes, I'd like to defer RE12 to the November 20th meeting.
Okay.
RE12, you said?
RE12, the bicycle master plan. I would like, these are only deferrals right now, Madam Chair?
Deferrals or withdrawals?
Okay. I think everything else that I was going to request a deferral for has been deferred.
Okay. Mr. City Clerk, you had your hand up?
Thank you, Chair. Commissioner Rosado will be co-sponsoring RE7, and there are 3 pocket items. The mayor has a pocket item. It's a resolution appointing Commissioner Pardo to the Transportation Planning Organization. Commissioner Rosado has a pocket item resolution for District 4 Senior Rental Assistance Program. Commissioner Rosado also has a resolution pertaining to an execute purchase and sale agreement for 2375 Southwest 32nd Avenue. And if you would like, you can have the city attorney read those titles into the record before we get to the public comment.
I would like that. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In the order that City Clerk provided them, PI 1, a resolution of the Miami City Commission appointing Commissioner Damian Pardo as a member of the Miami-Dade County Transportation Planning Organization for a term as designated herein. Pocket item 2, a resolution of the Miami City Commission with attachments allocating funds from the District 4 Commissioner's share of the funds apportioned between the 5 Commission districts pursuant to the Anti-Poverty Initiative formula for the Commissioner of each district in a total amount not to exceed $500,000 for the district-sponsored D4 Senior Rental Assistance Program, further authorizing the City Manager to negotiate and execute any and all necessary documents subject to applicable requirements of all federal, state, and local laws, including the Charter of the City of Miami, Florida as amended and the Code of the City of Miami, Florida as amended, all in forms acceptable to the City Attorney for said purpose. The use, allocation, and appropriation of the funds referenced herein are subject to all federal, state, and local laws that regulate the use of such funds and the receipt of all necessary approvals, including but not limited to the City Attorney, authorizing the City Manager to make any changes to adjust, amend, and appropriate the City's operating budget, 5-year financial plan, strategic plan, multi-year capital plan, and other documents as necessary and applicable pursuant to the provisions of this resolution, authorizing, ratifying, approving, and confirming certain necessary actions by the City Manager and the designated City departments to update the relevant financial controls, project closeouts, accounting entries, and computer systems in connection herewith. And then pocket item 3, a resolution of the Miami City Commission authorizing the City Manager to negotiate and execute a purchase and sale agreement in a form acceptable to the City Attorney between the City of Miami and Abel P. Laredo, trustee of the Abel P. Laredo Revocable Trust, seller, for the acquisition of real property identified as folio number 014116-009-4870, located at 2375 Southwest 32 Avenue, Miami, Florida. The property for a purchase price of $575,000, further authorizing the City Manager to negotiate and execute all necessary documents, including amendments and modifications to said agreement, in a form acceptable to the City Attorney, as may be necessary to effectuate said acquisition. Funding for the acquisition shall not exceed $630,000, with funds being allocated, appropriated, and awarded from District 4 Park Enhancements and Expansion Capital Project 40-B243516, using park impact fees to cover the cost of said acquisition, inclusive of the cost of surveys, environmental reports, title insurance, securing the property, demolition, project signage, and all related closing costs associated with said acquisition. In accordance with the terms and conditions of the agreement, further authorizing and directing the City Manager to prepare and submit one or more applications for a future land use map amendment and rezoning as necessary to designate to Parks and Recreation on the City's adopted future land use map, FLUME, of the Miami Comprehensive Neighborhood Plan and CS Transit Zone on the City's adopted zoning atlas of the Miami 21 Zoning Code, ordinance number 13114 of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, upon the acquisition by the City. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Mr. City Clerk.
Thank you, Chair. Commissioner Pardo would like to co-sponsor RE 13.
Thank you. At this time, may I have a motion to set the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The agenda has been set, and at this time, I'm going to open the floor for public comment. If you would like to speak on any item that remains on our agenda, please step forward. Thank you.
Madam Chair, before you do, I also wanted to co-sponsor RE 13 in support of the Alapata CRA.
Oh, wait. I am the sponsor of that, right? Who's that?
That's Commissioner Gabala.
Oh, because we said the urging. But am I a co-sponsor on that? Because it was my idea.
Just a moment.
Double check. I should be.
I only see Commissioner Gabala as the sponsor for RE 13.
Me too. Okay. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Chairwoman and Commissioners. Did I hear correctly that RE 17 has been permanently removed?
Indefinitely deferred.
Definitely. Could I ask why? That's assistance for seniors, rental assistance. I think that's a very, very good idea since they're on fixed income.
If I may, that was done so at the request of the commissioner who put it on the agenda. He requested
that would be Carollo. All right, thank you. Well, my name is Chaplain Stanley Young, Freedom Prison and Jail Ministry, and Charles Hadley Park, Criminal Justice Department. 500 Northwest 2nd Avenue, Miami, Florida. I'm not going to actually speak on any agenda of myself. I want to lift up Lotus House. I have met with the executive director of Lotus House. She has given me a tour of that facility. It is a place of excellence. It is a place where women who have been battled, who can come and get the help and the assistance they need to get their life back in order. It's a place of superb. I commend any of you commissioners, please take a trip over to Lotus House and see the excellent job they're doing in Overtown. They're really turning that place around, that area around, and really assisting these women who've been battered, who've been hurt, who've been bruised, who've been really taken advantage of, and they are breathing hope, life back into these women's lives. So I'm here to support Lotus House today, and I hope you will too. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioner. Elvis Cruz, 631 Northeast 57th Street. I'm speaking to PZ 8 and 9, the Watson Island Special Area Plan. I'd like to correct a mistake that I made at a public hearing earlier. This project allows 48-story high-rise condos on land given to the city of Miami by the state of Florida to be used in perpetuity as a public park. People will say, but Elvis, yes, that got voted on and approved by the voters. And I previously said that the developers influenced that vote by spending $500,000 through their ad campaign. That was wrong. The public documents show the actual expenditure was 6 times that, $3.4 million. The voters saw a misleading ad campaign saying, vote for Watson Island Park, showing a family walking by a palm tree with not a single 48-story condo in sight. Why do you suppose they did that? Did the average voter know what they were voting for? Miami 21, Section 391H10 says, special area plans have a flexible allocation of height, but it shall be allowed so long as the capacity or height distribution does not result in development that is out of scale or character with the surrounding area. Watson Island has some 2- or 3-story buildings, but nothing like a 48-story high-rise condo. Also, the standard floor height is 10 feet, but Miami 21 allows 25 to 14-foot floor heights. So this building could be 683 feet tall. This was on the ballot because Commissioner Damian Pardo sponsored it. It would be so nice if the city of Miami saw its parks as sacred grounds to be protected and preserved instead of seeing them as vacant lots for vertical concrete to enable developer profits. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chairwoman. For the record, Javier Fernandez. I'm actually here in my public capacity as Mayor of South Miami. I want to thank Commissioner Rosado for the invitation to address you all on an item. Before I do, very briefly, I want to congratulate both Commissioner Carollo and our Mayor, Francis Suarez, on the conclusion of their service to the city shortly. We are grateful to them, and personally, I'm grateful to them for every courtesy they've extended to me when I've appeared before them. I also wanted to briefly encourage you to adopt SR4, designating a park in honor of former County Commissioner Rebecca Sosa. Thank you for bringing that item forward, and it's appropriate since it's just a few days removed from her birthday. But I'm here today to speak on Resolution 7, which is the urging that Commissioner Rosado has advanced regarding a property tax exemption for seniors. A lot of conversation will be had in the next few months about what the state should do to help people stay in their homes. I think this is an obvious solution. At South Miami, we adopted a similar urging. It's now been memorialized as HJR 205. I would encourage you to send a message to Tallahassee that we should help our seniors stay in their homes without the burden of paying the non-school portion of their property taxes. It is an issue. Folks are on fixed incomes. The current exemptions are far too low given the escalation in taxable values. I think it's a simple solution that we all can absorb as local municipal leaders, and I look forward to your support of the item. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Chair and Commissioners. I'd like to thank Mayor Fernandez as well for urging on FR7. This is a resolution regarding the senior homestead tax exemption. And Commissioner Rosado for bringing this. This is something that would welcome your universal co-sponsorship in sending that voice to Tallahassee to expand this program. This is allowing us to help our seniors, vulnerable seniors, stay in their homes. Fixed income seniors who have held their home for more than 25 years can completely exempt themselves from our city taxes, and this can help them. So as you urge this, I'd also suggest that you direct the manager to identify who these residents are in our community, because just because we pass an ordinance here doesn't mean our residents know it. And they may already be missing out on the tax benefits. So if you can work together with the property appraiser, as well as the tax collector, you can identify exactly which seniors already qualify to not pay city taxes, and you can help them. Thank you for passing this today.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the Commission. Big Brothers Big Sisters Miami will celebrate 70 years serving Miami in 2028. The impact and efficacy of mentoring is well documented and seen in our community because we can all relate to friendship. Through school to work, workplace mentoring, school and site-based and community-based mentoring, even our own Bigs in Blue program that engages first responders like alumni Big Brother Chief Morales. Here are the facts. U.S. Department of Treasury report, Big Brothers Big Sisters mentoring is one of the most cost-effective solutions to youth development. Harvard University's recent study, mentoring closes the opportunity gap, and being a Big Brothers Big Sisters Little closes 2/3 of the economic gap. Last year, we increased by 17%, serving over 2,600 youth and families in Miami-Dade, in the city of Miami and Miami-Dade County. Bottom line, our littles don't need to be fixed. They need exposure. They need support. They simply need a friend like every single one of us. I'm pleased to have standing with me today major corporations like JP Morgan Chase, Marriott, y'all can stand, JP Morgan Chase, Marriott, business leaders, parents, mentors, bigs and littles, an incredible staff of Big Brothers, Big Sisters Miami. So as I close, we may all come from different walks of life. We may speak different languages, but at the end of the day, we all have a little in common. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, he stole my thunder.
Good morning.
I'll support everything that gentleman just said strongly, with great enthusiasm. You'll get my check. So thank you, Madam Chairwoman King. Thank you, Horacio Stewart Aguirre, today in capacity as volunteer Vice Chairman of the Bayfront Park Management Trust. This is a unique jewel that the city of Miami hosts for all of South Florida, including Miami-Dade County. We're talking about 60 acres, 32 for Bayfront Park, 28 for Maurice Ferre Park. This is much more than an extraordinary park, ladies and gentlemen. This is a good-sized business by anybody's standards in Florida. This is an international event venue recognized throughout the world. This is an extraordinary park for reflection where people go to meditate, to exercise, and yes, to fall in love with life. It takes a unique board and a unique staff to operate Bayfront Park and Maurice Ferre Park. It takes a diverse set of skills, talents, experience, and expertise to make this what it is today and transition it into what it should be for tomorrow. Bayfront Park is tomorrow's future for Miami. I'd be delighted to meet with each and every one of you and tell us where we are today, where I think we're going tomorrow, and why we should remain as the managing organization for Bayfront Park and Maurice Ferre Park. I look forward to hearing from you and accepting that invitation. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Katie. I am a program specialist from Big Brothers Big Sisters, and it is a true honor to be standing here addressing you because I have come full circle from where I used to be. I have to give it to Big Brothers Big Sisters for bringing me here and to speak with you all. This organization was part of what helped me find my way because I was once a young person who was in desperate need for guidance, something to lead my life into a direction where I could thrive and kind of explore what my life has in store for me. And standing here, I have become what I am today. Part of the team, part of the dream, and part of being who I am as I speak. As a staff member, I have seen the community thrive within this program. I have seen the support that they have given to each and every single children that they have served, and all the staff members that have loved each other through thick and thin. And to be standing here speaking about them is a great honor. I am proud to be part of this organization that leads with heart and action, one that believes in the strength of the community and the idea that anyone given the right to support can grow and thrive. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chairwoman, Commissioners. Eric Knowles, President of Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce, 11405 Northwest 15th Avenue, newly moved there about a month ago. And before I get into FR6, I guess I woke up on the right side of the bed this morning to see Ms. Fowles, another Red Raider, receive that award, and thank you for that. I didn't know Mr. Elliott and his beautiful wife were going to be honored today. I'm his new neighbor, so congratulations to Mr. Elliott. And I stand here with Mr. Broadway to speak about FR6, talking about the clean zone. But what I really want to talk about is the opportunities that are not being seen for small businesses here in Miami-Dade County, in particular in Miami. In the state of Florida, there are 315 million small businesses. In Miami-Dade County, 80,000 small businesses with over 50,000 employees. 800,000 micro businesses with less than 10 employees. Our opportunities are being lost each and every day. FIFA has come to us, and we are not seeing the opportunities. I am asking the city of Miami to look into this to make sure that we have businesses that will benefit. The money will come, the money will go away, and our businesses will lose out. I want to make sure that you stand before those bodies and ensure that we are being taken care of as they come and walk away with millions of dollars. Thank you.
I'd like to co-sign that. Hold on. We go take turns. Okay. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners, and the public, my big brothers and big sisters, partners. My name is Galina Ocheva. I'm the Director of Human Resources representing MDM Hotel Group, which is a group representing Marriott International. We own and operate 5 properties in Miami. And this is about passion and partnership. So Gail is an individual that you heard speaking, and you know that his passion kind of makes you want to do things. Mr. Mayor earlier was talking about passion, and this is what our partnership is about. Ultimately, it's the job of all of us to raise our youth from 0 to 50. We're always someone's child. So this organization has brought a lot of support to our youth. And why we do it with our hotel group is because I think it's very cool if a 15-year-old has the business card of an executive nowadays, no? You know that those individuals or the youth, they're going to reach places. And this is what we're here to do. Our role as corporate partner is not just to make money. Obviously, it's a good thing. But also to support our community. And by us supporting the School to Work program, we're able to look towards our future, right? Build those individuals, give them the same passion we have in our roles. And it has been a partnership that started over 15 years ago, and it's growing, and we look forward to continue growing it. I think currently we host about 50 littles. And as Gail says, it takes a little to be big. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone, in your rightful spot. Very happy to stand here on behalf of the NAACP, and we're looking forward to making sure that we get our fair share of the jobs. And I thank you, Commissioner King, for actually making it be seen that we are somebody and we do deserve some jobs. Like Eric Knowles just said earlier, we are the small people that make this place run. Like the mayor said earlier, he worked for us. And I do think I did the right thing by making sure he became our mayor. When the numbers were small, We was at Hot 105 and we pushed together as a team and we made it work. And that was the best thing I think I had a hand in on, because look at what it came out to be. Look how great a man he became. And he say he don't know where he going at. Let me give y'all the secret. He finna become our next president. And Terry Elliott, the next time I see you, you'll be coming up here getting the key to the city. Thank you all and have a blessed day.
Chair, my apologies. Can I have the speaker's name for the record?
We need your
Sure.
name for the record.
Broadway Harewood. The first name is Broadway.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Constance Collins. I'm here to speak on behalf of the Lotus Endowment Fund and Lotus House on item P4. First of all, we want to thank Mayor Suarez, Chairwoman King, each and all the commissioners for your favorable consideration. This proposal is for the Children's Village at Lotus Village. You're seeing some images of the Children's Village just completed this month. We're just moving in right now to the Children's Village. Lotus House will anchor this project with the Center for Advancement of Children and Families, providing therapeutic supports for children and youth. We will be joined by 13 other nonprofits who will call the Children's Village their home in the aim of providing wraparound supports for children and youth and strengthening families in our Overtown community and surrounds. And we aim to serve over 2,500 children, youth, families, and members of our community on an annual basis. We have a grand opening scheduled for November 6th at 4 p.m. Everyone is invited. We hope all of you will attend. And we just want to say thank you so much for all the support provided by the city throughout our building process. It was a heavy lift, and we appreciate all the help. And lastly, I want to do a shout out on PH7 for Big Brothers and Big Sisters for all their support, one of our many community partners. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Tangela Sears. I'm here in support of RE5. I just stopped by just to let you all know that I support that. A person that grew up in the area that's seen nothing but negativity in the area. I just appreciate everything that the Elliots have brought to the neighborhood in serving our kids and making sure that our kids are safe on that street now, working with law enforcement, working with the mayor and the commissioners to make sure that everything you do is a success. And you make sure that every kid in every ethnic group receives something every single Christmas. And we, the community, appreciate and support the naming of the street. And on the other hand, I want to say, God knows I'm going to miss you. You have been the biggest supporter to Florida parents of murdered children. I call you in the morning. I call you in the middle of the night. You're right there. You've never said no. Our breakfast goes on every year because of you. And I just want to say thank you. I'm going to miss you, and we will definitely maintain contact.
Thank you. I want to take 1 second for Commissioner Gabella to say what he just did quietly.
No, it was just that,
it's important. Go ahead.
Thank you. Well, my wife and I support your organization. We think you're doing a great job for the community. And while you're here, I just wanted to give you the check because you're here. So, but thank you for what you do. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Good morning.
Good morning. My husband and I would like to combine our time, if we may. Okay. Good morning, Mayor Suarez and Chairwoman King and all of our distinguished commissioners here today on the dais. We are the Elliots, and we're here today to thank you for your consideration of the item in front of you at this moment, RE5. The item of naming Northwest 68th Terrace and 15th Avenue Elliott's Way. My husband, Terry Elliott Sr., whom proud last name we carry, and I have given over 25 years of commitment, dedication, and services to the great city of Miami's underprivileged area children and families. We have done this not because we have to, but because we want to. We have always strived to be the change in our community that we want to see. And by you acknowledging us with this honor for all of the work we've done in the community, we hope that this inspires our children who have been boots on the ground since the day they were born, right there with us in the trenches, even during COVID, that they see that this is a great legacy to carry on our family name with dignity, honor, and respect. Giving all the glory to our God Almighty, I ask everyone that showed up for us today, that came out here today with us, to please stand. Thank you. Thank you to all our dear friends, our community members, and especially the matriarchs of our family, Miss Ruby D. Wilson, Miss Cora Williams, Miss Betty Dill, and the late Ella Ray Elliott. We could not be here without you today.
Protocol was established, but Mayor, I want to tell you, you've been with us in Liberty City for 18 strong years with the parade. You and your son. And we want to tell you thank you. You heard the thank yous from them, but just from the community. So we love you and we appreciate everything you do. Chairwoman, you followed his footsteps and you've been a strong chairwoman. You keep up the good work that you've been doing. To all of our friends that took time to wake up this morning, my Masonic brothers, my karate instructor, Rennie Whitehead, and my cousins and my family and my employees, my brother Billy Elliott back there, and all my friends. I can't say everybody because I got 2 minutes, but I want to tell y'all, thank y'all for waking up to come here today. Commander, thank you for coming. We appreciate that. We love y'all. Thank y'all. And to the board, thank you for honoring us that way, because now we got something to look forward with the community saying, Elias did it, we can do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Chairman King, Mayor, members of the Commission. My name is Carlos Martel. I would like to ask for your support for Bayfront Park Management Trust, which I am a member of. I have served under Commissioner Carollo for about a year there, and now I serve under Commissioner Gavela. The trust is working very well and does not need to be fixed. I think that we're doing pretty good right now, as we've done in the past. I'm encouraging for your support for the trust. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Lorenzo Whitehead. I'm speaking here on Terry Elliott's behalf. I haven't been here in a long time. I was one of the first Coconut Grove commanding officers in the police department. I retired 34 years. I retired major up under Chief Timothy's staff. Chairman, I've been knowing you for a long time. I used to be in City Hall a lot working. Now I ride horses at my ranch. But Terry Elliott is like my son. I started training him in karate. He was 8 years old, him and his wife. Many kids, Chief Timothy allowed me to continue the karate program in Liberty Square in the Pork and Beans, where I've seen hundreds of kids that I've trained that see crime scenes, walking to school in the morning, and able to go home and maintain their grades. Kids are 1/3 of the population, but people are 100% of the future. We need to plant better seeds, we'll have better trees, and that's what these students doing. The mayor, he stepped out, but his best friend, Christian, and his brother, they're 2 of my black belts. I started training them when they were 7 years old. The assistant chief of police, all right, Chief Butler, she's my daughter. I started training her. She was 8 years old. She used to watch my police motorcycle when I was a motor sergeant and a motor lieutenant for the City of Miami Police Department. We have to look at the kids today and make sure that, no, we don't have the answer, but I think the answer is in this room if we put our heads together. Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no one else for public comment, the public comment period is now closed. Mr. City Clerk, I believe you have some more announcements.
Thank you, Chair. Commissioner Pardo would like to co-sponsor PZ 14, and Commissioner King would like to co-sponsor PH 4.
Gentlemen, at this time, are there any items that you would like to pull for discussion from the CA items? From CA 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8?
No.
Commissioner Pardo, Commissioner
No.
Gabella, Commissioner Rosado, Vice Chair? Okay, then may I have a motion for...
So moved. Yeah. Second.
I have a motion and a second for CA 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Gentlemen, with our PH items, are there any items that you would like to pull for discussion from PH 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7?
No.
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 Commissioner Rosado?
No.
Vice Chair? May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Congratulations. Gentlemen, on the RE items that remain, are there any items that you would like to pull for discussion? Commissioner Pardo?
No.
Where are we on the R yard?
RE, from RE 1, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Yeah, just, I want to defer RE10.
You want to defer RE 10 to what date?
Next commission meeting, November.
20th?
Yeah.
Okay. May I have a motion to defer RE 10 to November 20th?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Madam Chair, did you skip RE9?
No?
Because I don't believe it was deferred.
Okay. Well, RE 9 is in play.
I mean, if anybody wants to discuss it, I think we've deferred it 3 times. It's just a matter of, voting on it up or down.
I have a question about it because I remember at the last meeting we had a discussion.
So do you want to pull it for discussion?
Yes.
Okay, we'll pull RE9 for discussion. Are there any other items that you would like to pull for discussion?
RE7.
RE7,
No, that
that's
one.
been deferred.
That one was deferred.
It's indefinitely deferred. Okay.
Madam Chair, I'd like to pull RE16.
RE16,
RE16.
okay.
Okay.
Okay. Any others?
RE7, indefinitely defer.
Indefinite. So we can bring it back whenever we want. It's instead of just,
Okay.
okay.
Let's see. Where RE is, once we're talking. I apologize. I got a cold and a fever today, so
Okay.
doing the best that I can.
Pull your mic a little bit.
Okay. Very well. Which items did we pull on the RE?
Okay, so for RE2 is deferred until December 11th. RE3 has been withdrawn.
Okay.
RE7 is indefinitely deferred.
Okay.
RE12 has been deferred until November 20th.
You missed RE10 also deferred.
RE10
We just deferred it.
is deferred till November 20th. RE17 is indefinitely deferred.
Okay. All right.
And we have pulled RE16 and
9.
RE9 for discussion.
Okay.
Okay? All right. So may I have a motion for RE1, RE4, 5, 6, 8, 11, 13, 14, 15.
Motion.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Items passes unanimously. I think Commissioner Rosado has a question on RE9. Commissioner Rosado?
Yes, I believe at the last commission meeting, we talked about deferring it so that we could do a workshop, but the workshop didn't take place. And I'd still like to do the workshop before we discuss it, quite frankly. This has, you know, it's both a specific case and a case that has ramifications for all of us up here. And so I think that's something we should all be concerned about. So I'd like to have the workshop before we actually take a vote on the item.
So are you proposing to defer it?
Yes.
Okay, I'll second.
So I have a motion and a second. All,
Just want to say, can we establish the workshop so then it doesn't go by again without the...
Yeah, that would be the city attorney's office who will do
George
that
can come
workshop
in.
because that's not my area of expertise. But George,
We'll coordinate with you as far as the setting and Commissioner Rosado as well.
Okay.
The workshop.
well, we all need the workshop, right?
I figured we'll coordinate with all of you as far as your timing and availability of the workshop.
Okay. So may I have a motion to defer?
So moved.
Second.
Let's indefinitely defer it so we can bring it back whenever we want and make sure, because if we bring it back next commission meeting and we haven't had the workshop, then we're going to defer it again. So let's make sure we have the workshop and then put it back on the agenda. So I have a motion and a second to indefinitely defer RE9. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And the next item is RE16 for discussion. I'm not sure who.
I pulled it. I just wanted
Okay.
to mention I'm very supportive of the item and the lease amendment. And I just wanted to thank their team for also agreeing to meet with us and be able to come up with an activation plan for the area between Bayside itself and Biscayne. And so I know that we're going to be convening and this will be going through the DDA so that we can go ahead and move forward on that revision to the license agreement for the parcel.
The city clerk needs to make a statement, and I'd also like to co-sponsor this.
Understood. RE16 will need to be amended pursuant to a substitution memo distributed on October 22nd, 2025 at 1:41 p.m.
Thank
I'll
you.
also co-sponsor as well.
Please include me also.
What are we doing again on here?
Co-sponsoring RE16. Did you co-sponsor?
No, but I'm in.
Okay, so that's all of us, Todd, as a co-sponsor for this item. So I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
My apologies, Chair. Who was the mover and seconder?
I'll second. I don't know who the mover is.
I think
Was it
Commissioner
you?
Rosado was the mover,
Seconded by Commissioner Cabello. As amended.
as amended.
Madam Chair, since FR7 is really a resolution, it was identified as a first reading ordinance, did you want to take that up now, considering it's actually a resolution?
Okay, gentlemen,
Yes.
I don't know if we need to have discussion for this. If I may have a motion for FR7.
I would like to co-sponsor FR7 as well, as a
Okay.
resolution.
I would too, as well.
And it needs
Me
a
too.
slight modification. We're going to amend the...
FR7 is urging the legislature
SR7?
to expand the homestead exemption for seniors.
Yes, you could include me as a sponsor also. And let's be clear, I think we need to make something clear. We, from our portion of the property taxes, approved unanimously for this next budget that all residents of the city of Miami that own their own home, their homesteaded home, 65 and over, that qualified under the state guidelines, we're going to rebate them whatever taxes they pay on the city side in their homes. This that we're proposing is going to help those residents cover the rest of the taxes. The other 63% of every dollar that they pay that doesn't come to the city of Miami. Out of every dollar that you pay, only 37 cents, 37% comes to the city of Miami. And Mr. Manager, we need, because I didn't see it in this agenda, we approved last meeting that you would come back with the information from every director, but in particularly the police chief and fire chief, to see what service does Miami-Dade County provide to the city. We're giving Miami-Dade County 29 cents, 29% of every dollar that's paid in property taxes. That comes to approximately $600 million a year. And I'm not seeing where we're getting anything remotely close to that from the county. Yes, they provide libraries, but we pay an extra tax for the libraries that's not included in what I just described. They could say, well, the airport, the seaport. Well, the airport and seaport are self-funded, independent entities. So they can't throw that on the 29% of our property taxes that they're getting. So we need to establish what the heck is the county providing to this city for 29% of every dollar in property tax that we get, some $600 million a year. And if they cannot give us very clear proof of that, then we need to do something about it, including going to court if we have to, because City of Miami residents, property owners, can no longer afford to be subsidizing unincorporated Miami-Dade County with our monies. Can you imagine what we could do with hundreds of millions of more dollars for this city if our residents didn't have to pay 29% or close to it in property taxes? It would be a very different ballgame. So we need to get to the bottom of it, because I want to get along with the county, with our colleagues there, with our friends, but I don't want to be subsidizing unincorporated areas of Miami-Dade County. So if you could have this back, Mr. Manager, in our next agenda.
Yeah, we'll try to put something together that we've already started working on it, but we'll try to have something at least in draft form that we'll disseminate to everybody ahead of that, and then do a formal presentation at the next meeting.
Thank you.
Okay, so may I have a motion for FR7?
Motion. Move.
Chair, it's my understanding it's going to be as amended.
As amended. I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Item passes unanimously. At this time, Mr. City Attorney, would you please read the titles into the record for our second reading ordinances?
Yes, Madam Chair. SR2, second reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 2, Article 4 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended. City Code titled Administration Departments, adding a new Division 17 to establish the Grants Department, providing for the purpose, authority, and functions of the department, further amending Chapter 18, Article 4 of the City Code titled Finance Grants to provide for the acceptance of grant awards to the City of Miami, containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. SR3, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 14, Article 2 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended City Code titled Downtown Development, Downtown District, more particularly by amending Division 1 titled Generally to define residency in the Downtown Development Authority of the City of Miami, Florida Authority, and by amending Division 2 titled Downtown Development Authority to amend the composition of the Downtown Development Authority of the City of Miami, Florida's Authority's Board of Directors and various amendments, including but not limited to the authority's definitions, powers and duties, and removal of members containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. SR 4 and second reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 38, Article 1 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended City Code titled Parks and Recreation in General by creating Section 38-39 titled Naming of Rebecca Sosa Park, further directing the city manager to take any and all actions necessary to effectuate the naming of the park, containing a severability clause and providing for an immediate effective date. That concludes the second reading items.
Thank you.
Me as a sponsor in SR 4, please.
Me as I think I did from the first reading, but I'm not sure. I did from the first reading. If I didn't, please include me. But I think I did. I did, right? No? Okay. Please include me as a sponsor for that. Gentlemen, are there any of the SR items that you would like to pull for discussion? SR 2, 3, or 4?
No.
No. No. No? May I have a motion?
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Items passes unanimously. Mr. City Attorney, would you please read FR 8 title for the record?
Let's see. Is FR 6 still in play?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yes, I'm sorry.
All right.
FR 6 and FR 8 are in play.
Right. FR 6, first reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission with attachments temporarily designating a portion of the City of Miami City as a clean zone, which will provide for the safe and orderly use of city venues, streets and sidewalks by vendors, peddlers, street ticket sellers, and pedestrians during the 2026 Federation Internationale de Football Association FIFA World Cup and FIFA World Cup related events established between the city and FIFA World Cup 2026 Miami Host Committee, activities in the clean zone, establishing terms and conditions for the activities in order to regulate commercial activities during the 2026 FIFA World Cup and related events in the city in the clean zone beginning at 12:01 a.m. on Monday, June 8, 2026 and ending at 11:59 p.m. on Monday, July 20th, 2026, and further prohibiting the sale, offer, for sale, or distribution of counterfeit goods, tickets, wares, and merchandise of FIFA or the FIFA World Cup 2026 Miami Host Committee. Then we have FR 8, first reading, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 13, Article 1, titled Development, Impact, and Other Related Fees in General of this Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, City Code, specifically by amending Section 13-5, titled Definitions, and Section 13-8, titled Deferral of Impact Fees for Affordable Housing and Workforce Housing, waivers of contributions into the Affordable Housing Trust Fund, to clarify applicability of the deferral and refund of impact fees for workforce and affordable housing dwelling units, containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. FR 9, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission repealing ordinance number 14382 adopted on July 10, 2025, prior to its scheduled effective date of January 1, 2026, said ordinance having abolished the Bayfront Park Management Trust and amended various sections of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida as amended, including Chapter 38, Article 3 of the City Code titled Parks and Recreation, Bayfront Park Management Trust, Chapter 2, Article 11, Division 2, titled Administration Boards, Committees, Commissions, Standards for Creation and Review of Boards Generally, Chapter 18, Article 3, Section 18-72, titled Finance, City of Miami Procurement Ordinance Application and Exclusions, and Chapter 54, Article 1, Section 54-9, titled Streets and Sidewalks in General, placing signs, advertisement, or displays on any portion of public right-of-way, street, or sidewalk surface containing a severability clause and providing for an immediate effective date. And finally, FR 10, first reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 2, Article 2, Section 2-35 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, is amended, titled Administration, Mayor, and City Commission, Terms of Elected Officials as Members of any authority, board, or committee, annual review, to change the month in which elected officials are appointed to serve as a member of any authority, board, or committee, containing a severability clause and providing for an immediate effective date. That concludes the first readings.
Thank you. Gentlemen, Are there any of the items that you would like to pull for discussion from FR 6, 8, 10? Oh, 8, 9, and 10. 6, 8, 9, and 10.
9.
You'd like to pull 9 for discussion. Any other item? I'm going to pull 6 for discussion. Anything else? Okay, so may I have a motion for FR 8 and FR 10?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Items passes. Commissioner Rosado, you pulled FR.
FR 9, but it's after the item that you pulled, Madam
Okay,
Chair.
so
Somebody pulled up for 6.
I pulled FR 6. Do you want to speak on FR 6?
No, can you go ahead?
So I raised a concern at our last commission meeting, which deferred FR 6 with respect to ensuring that our local businesses are able to participate in this event. There is a community workshop on October 29th, I believe, to give small businesses an opportunity to vie for participation with this event. And I will vote for this on first reading, but I have to make sure that you guys are going to keep your word that there will be participation from local businesses in Miami. I understand that this is a concern not just here in Miami, but everywhere else where FIFA has a footprint in the U.S. But I can only be concerned about my backyard, our backyard. So if I am not satisfied with what I see on the 29th and or have some assurances that we will see small business minority participation for this event, we're going to have a problem for second reading with me. I can't speak for my colleagues, but for me, because it won't be fair that we have such a boon come to our community with this event and our local businesses, our minority businesses are not able to take advantage of this huge pie that will be FIFA. Commissioner Pardo?
Yeah, I just want to say I share your sentiments, and I think there is a program in place which they're going to share at the workshop, et cetera. So I as well look forward to seeing that, but I feel exactly the same way.
Thank you. Commissioner Cabela?
Yeah, I rest assured they have explained to me exactly how it's going to be. I'm satisfied with what they told me. I have no doubt that they will keep their word. But like like Ronald Reagan used to say, trust but verify, and I think that's where you're going. But I fully, I was educated on what they're doing and my concerns, so I feel comfortable that we won't have a problem. But like you, I had concerns, but I'm satisfied that they're going to keep their word, so I'm good for now.
Commissioner Rosado?
Madam Chair, I support your wishes on this item. I think it's the right thing to do.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Commissioner Rosado?
Yeah, I think on the next item, Assistant City Manager Hernandez, she and I had worked together on a presentation.
Before you do your presentation, since it's my item, do you mind if I do my presentation? Real quick, it's a video. Could you go ahead and...
They can't hear you. They can't hear you.
What I'm asking both of you is if we could deal with this later, the expenditure we have, and then come back to it.
Is that okay with you, Rosado? Okay.
Will of the body. Okay. We are on boards and committees.
Boards and committees? Oh, yeah.
Mr. City Clerk.
Thank you, Chair. BC1, Historic and Environmental Preservation Board. Commissioner Rosado will be appointing John Perez to the Category 1 Registered Architect seat.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I have a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
BC2, Wynwood Norte NRD2 Public Benefits Trust Fund Committee. Pursuant to City Code Section 62-648C, Wynwood Community Enhancement Association is requesting the Commission's confirmation of Mikhail Gurovich.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That concludes the boards and committees. Thank you, Chair.
Mr. City Attorney, would you please read the titles into the record for the PZ items?
Yes, Madam Chair. PZ1 is a resolution. PZ3 is a resolution. PZ4, ordinance, second reading. An ordinance of the Miami City Commission with attachments amending the zoning atlas of ordinance number 13114, the zoning ordinance of the City of Miami as amended, Miami 21 Code, by changing the zoning classification from T5L Urban Center Zone Limited to T50 Urban Center Zone Open of the property generally located at 349 Southwest 12th Street, 375 Southwest 15th Road, 1109 and 1131 Southwest 4th Avenue, and 364 Southwest 11th Street, Miami, Florida, is more particularly described in the attached and incorporated Exhibit A, making findings containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. PZ5, second reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission with attachments amending the zoning atlas of ordinance number 13114, the zoning code of the City of Miami, Florida, is amended Miami 21 Code by changing the zoning classification from T50 Urban Center Transit Zone Open to T680 Urban Core Transit Zone Open for the property generally located at 710 Southwest 16th Avenue, Miami, Florida, as more particularly described in the attached and incorporated Exhibit A, making findings containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. PZ6, second reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission with attachments amending ordinance number 10544 as amended the future land use map of the Miami Comprehensive Neighborhood Plan pursuant to small-scale amendment procedure subject to section 163.3187 Florida statutes by changing the future land use designation from medium-density multifamily residential to restricted commercial of the acreage described herein of real property at 175 Northeast 55th Street, Miami, Florida, and the western portion of 184 Northeast 56th Street, Miami, Florida, all as more particularly described in Exhibit A, attached and incorporated, making findings and providing for an effective date. PZ7, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission with attachments amending the zoning atlas of ordinance number 13114, the zoning ordinance of the City of Miami, Florida, is amended Miami 21 Code by changing the zoning transect of the western portion of the property bifurcated by two transect zones located at 184 Northeast 56th Street, Miami, Florida, from T4R General Urban Transect Zone Restricted to T50 Urban Center Transit Zone Open, and the property generally located at 175 Northeast 55th Street from T4R General Urban Transit Zone Restricted to T50 Urban Center Transit Zone Open, more particularly described in Exhibit A, attached and incorporated, making findings containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. PZ8, first reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission pursuant to Articles 3 and 7 of ordinance number 13114 as amended the zoning ordinance of the City of Miami, Florida, Miami 21, by amending the existing Jungle Island Special Area Plan, inclusive of the regulating plan and concept book, to allow the rezoning of the T612 to T636 for approximately 5.3 acres, a portion of the development total of approximately 18.61 acres, 810,795 square feet, as part of the amendment with a name change to the Eco-Resiliency Special Area Plan, SAP, located at approximately 1111 MacArthur Causeway, Miami, Florida, as more particularly described in Exhibit A. The SAP consists of a phased project which includes 2 residential towers with a maximum height of 48 stories, 600 residential dwelling units, and approximately 2,874,128 square feet of total development floor area. The SAP shall contain a 13.235 acre public waterfront park. The SAP will modify the transect zone regulations that are applicable to the subject parcel, and where a regulation is not specifically provided by the SAP, the regulations and restrictions of Miami 21 will apply, making findings of fact and stating conclusions of law, providing for a binding effect containing severability clause, and providing for an effective date. PZ9, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission with attachments rescinding and terminating the previously approved development agreement under ordinance number 13974 associated with Jungle Island Special Area Plan adopted by ordinance number 13973, and further approving a new development agreement associated with an amendment to the existing Jungle Island Special Area Plan, inclusive of the regulating plan and concept book, as part of the amendment with a name change to the Eco-Resiliency Special Area Plan, SAP, pursuant to Chapter 163 Florida statutes, and authorizing the city manager to negotiate and execute said development agreement in a form acceptable to the city attorney, a draft of which is attached and incorporated as Exhibit B between Eco-Resiliency Miami, LLC, a Delaware limited liability company, and or assigns, and the City of Miami, Florida, governing the properties generally located at 1111 MacArthur Causeway, Miami, Florida, as more particularly described in the attached and incorporated Exhibit A. The SAP consists of a phased project which includes 2 residential towers with a maximum height of 48 stories, 600 residential dwelling units and associated amenities, and up to 25,000 square feet of retail commercial space, excluding back-of house area and other customary non-habitable areas for a combined capacity of approximately 2,812,000 square feet. The SAP shall contain a 13.235 acre public waterfront park. The SAP will modify the Transect zone regulations that are applicable to the subject parcel and where a regulation is not specifically modified by the SAP. The regulations and restrictions of the Miami 21 Code will apply, making findings containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. The proposed amendment, the proposed agreement may be obtained at the City of Miami Planning Department at 444 Southwest 2nd Avenue, Miami, Florida, 33130. PZ10, first reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission with attachments, amending ordinance number 10544 as amended, the future land use map of the Miami Comprehensive Neighborhood Plan pursuant to small-scale amendment procedure subject to Section 163.3187 Florida statutes by changing the future land use designation from medium-density restricted commercial to restricted commercial of the acreage described herein of a portion of real property at 5800 Southwest 7th Avenue, 744 Northwest 59th Street, 742 Northwest 59th Street, and 736 Northwest 59th Street, Miami, Florida, as more particularly described in the attached and incorporated Exhibit A, making findings containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. PZ11, first reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission with attachments, amending the zoning atlas of ordinance number 13114, the zoning ordinance of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, Miami 21 Code, by changing the zoning classification from T5L, Urban Center Transect Zone Limited, to T680, Urban Core Transect Zone Open, of the property generally located at 1501 Northwest 37th Street, 1521 Northwest 37th Street, 1535 Northwest 37th Street, Miami, Florida, more particularly described in Exhibit A, attached and incorporated, making findings containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. PZ12, first reading ordinance, an ordinance amending ordinance number 13114, the zoning ordinance of the City of Miami, Florida, is amended by amending Article 6, Table 13, titled Supplemental Regulations to permit storage of fishing equipment and or fishing supplies by right on working waterfront properties included in Appendix PA1 of the Miami Comprehensive Neighborhood Plan, making findings containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. PZ14, first reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission with attachments, amending ordinance number 13114, the zoning ordinance of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, Miami 21 Code, by amending Article 3, Section 3.14.4, titled Public Benefits, to allow additional development capacity in exchange of educational facilities, amending Article 4, Table 3, titled Building Function Uses, and Article 6, titled Supplemental Regulations, to update certain educational uses subject to specific transit zones by process of exception, warrant, or by right, and clarifying physical standards and review standards for educational uses in accordance with Chapter 33, Article XA, and Article 11 of the Miami-Dade County Code, making findings containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. PZ15, second reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission with attachments, amending ordinance number 10544 as amended, the future land use map of the Miami Comprehensive Neighborhood Plan, pursuant to small-scale amendment procedure subject to Section 163.3187 Florida statutes, by changing the future land use designation from medium-density restricted commercial to restricted commercial of the acreage described herein of real property at 840 Southwest 6th Avenue and 601 Southwest 9th Street, Miami, Florida, as more particularly described in the attached and incorporated Exhibit A, making findings containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. And finally, PZ16, second reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission with attachments, amending the zoning atlas of ordinance number 13114, the zoning ordinance of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, Miami 21 Code, by changing the zoning classification from T5L, Urban Center Transit Zone Limited, to T680, Urban Core Transit Zone Open, of the property generally located at 601 Southwest 9th Street and 840 Southwest 6th Avenue, Miami, Florida, as more particularly described in Exhibit A, attached and incorporated, making findings containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. That concludes the PZ items.
Thank you, Mr. City Attorney. Colleagues, are there any items on the PZ that you'd like to pull for discussion?
No.
Commissioner Gabella? Commissioner Rosado? Vice Chair?
There's one here that I'd like to pull. If I could. The one that they want to construct with no parking requirement is my area.
PZ3.
PZ3?
Yeah.
Okay.
You'd like to pull PZ3?
Yeah,
Okay.
correct. PZ3.
All right. I'd like to pull PZ 8 and 9. Really would like to get a briefing from the team on this SAP. I have some hesitancy with it, so I'd like for it to be deferred. Asking my colleagues if I can get a motion on that.
Motion.
Second?
Would you like the team that's here to address it?
Oh, no.
I'm sorry, hang on, what are we doing again?
This, for PZ 8 and 9, the SAP for Watson Island. No, I don't, it's not a quick briefing. I have a lot of questions about it.
Okay.
So I would like to defer it till the next meeting.
Good afternoon, Chairwoman. Iris Escara, 333 Southeast 2nd Avenue. That is fine. We'll work with you in the interim to make sure we address any comments or questions you may have.
Thank you. I have a motion.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Till the November 20th meeting.
Thank you.
And Commissioner Coro, you said you want to pull PZ3?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take, may I have a motion for PZ1? 4, 5.
Chair, I believe PZ1 is quasi-judicial.
It's an appeal.
Okay, hold on a second. So may I have a motion for PZ 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, and 16.
Move.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Chair. For PZ14, Commissioner Rosado will be submitting a DDA resolution into the record for PZ14.
And
Okay.
Madam Chair, for
Didn't we miss one PC here, PC 11? So you went through
I did PZ 11, 12,
13?
not 13. 13 has been deferred
Oh, right.
until November
Okay.
20th.
All right, never mind, that's where I got lost.
Okay, so the only thing remaining is PZ 3. Vice Chair?
Madam Chair,
I'm sorry, Chair. I still need the motion and a second for
Second.
that block vote.
Second.
Motion.
There was a motion and a second.
Yeah, yes, I have Commissioner Croy. My apologies. I didn't have Commissioner Gabella. And then a vote on that motion.
And PZ7 is as amended.
As amended. Okay, and PZ1 is an appeal.
So are we voting or what?
We have to hear the parties.
I'm sorry, Chair. If we could have a vote on that motion.
Pardon?
A vote on the motion, that block vote. That Commissioner Croy made, seconded by
Everybody
Commissioner.
voted already. We did.
I'm sorry, I didn't
Okay,
hear.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Sorry. PZ1? Hi, good morning. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. This item, can you move it for me? Thank you. Good afternoon again. My name is Tamara Allen Frost. I'm the zoning administrator. PZ1 is a denial of a medical marijuana dispensary. I believe the applicant applied in 2021. The certificate of use was denied based on the no regulations allowed, and the state does not permit this use. The applicant went to the Planning and Zoning Appeals Board, and the motion failed 4-5. And then the zoning administrator at the time appealed to the City Commission to uphold his denial of certificate of use. This was in 2022, I believe. And so the item has been indefinitely deferred for quite some time.
Kevin Cruz, Greenspoon Martyr, office is located at 600 Brookville Avenue. Here on behalf of the applicant or the appellant in this matter, 6925 Biscayne LLC. As Ms. Frost correctly pointed out, this item has been indefinitely deferred before the Commission, going back to September of 2022. And since then, there have been similarly situated applicants who have gone before and had their appeals either reversed or upheld, and have had the entitlements issued for medical cannabis. So this is the last of the Mohicans, and we're trying to get access safely and regulated to City of Miami residents for medical cannabis.
So to approve, we need to, which way is the vote? As you guys write this so we.
You'd have to grant our appeal, I believe, but I'll defer to
Yeah, a
City
motion
Attorney.
to grant the appeal would result in the issuance of the certificate of use. A motion to deny the appeal would mean no certificate of use would be issued.
Gentlemen, do I have a motion to approve? PZ1, medicinal marijuana. I know.
Vote in favor.
I understand. I haven't gotten a motion for it.
Yeah, listen, I've got the same problem. Now, however, this is in your district, right?
Yes, it is.
And you want this in your district?
I believe in medicinal marijuana. I believe that its benefits are vast. It helps patients who are suffering with cancer, anxiety, pain issues. I have said before that my mother struggled with some shoulder pain, and I got this balm for her without her knowledge because she feels quite like my vice chair, and Commissioner Reyes felt very staunch, but I got this balm for her and didn't tell her what it was, and it was working. And it worked, and she got a second one, and then she's bragging to her sister about this balm that I got that took the pain away out of her shoulder, and they're looking for it on Amazon, and they can't find it. My aunt lives in Canada, and so they call me, and they ask me about it. And I had to come clean at this point, because if I'm asked directly, I can't. She didn't ask me about it when I got it for her. So now she asked me, and I tell her. And she takes a deep breath, and I say, Mommy, you can't get mad at me because you say it's working. And she doesn't say anything, but she tells my family, I've turned her into a drug dealer and this and that. And but she still uses the cream. There are benefits to it, and our issues, I believe my colleagues' issues are not with dispensaries, it's with these smoke shops that are unregulated, because medicinal marijuana is regulated by the state, and it helps people. It doesn't hurt people. And you have to have a prescription. You just can't walk into this place and, go and buy marijuana. It's not like that. You have to have a prescription for it. And I know one of the companies, their operation is phenomenal, and it's organic, and everything is tested, and it's not sitting on the shelf for 6 months, 6 years, because it's unregulated. It is very regulated. And I believe in medicinal marijuana, as does the state of Florida, because it passed. So
I'm going to go along with you for the simple thing of the human suffering. This alleviates it. But I also have my concerns, like Commissioner Carollo. I've always been against this. You know what I mean? And if it's in your area, and this is what you want to do, I'm going to, for this once, vote with you and help you.
Thank you.
Establish that.
So I have a motion.
But I want to be clear. In my area, I will be voting. You guys bring this in my area. I mean,
Understood,
it ain't
Commissioner.
going to happen.
I will just make a quick comment. I could understand what Chairwoman King is saying. The problem here is that everybody gets to buy the marijuana, because they're going to have doctors there. that will give them a prescription immediately. So everybody's going to be in need. And I don't want to have a community that's full of Cheech and Chongs everywhere. And frankly, all you got to do is go into our streets these days. You could see how some of the people drive. You could see how some of the people are walking. They'll cross a street, won't even look anyway to see if there's a car coming. And I don't want to see everybody so happy and content that they're putting themselves, me or you, at risk. One thing is the medical aspect of it. The other part is what these dispensaries, I truly believe, are going to provide. The recreational aspect, not the medical aspect of it. And this is why I will not vote for it. I respect very much my colleagues that will vote for this, but these are my reasons. I grew up, in another America, another world, where I still remember as a football player, I was about 215 pound, old muscle back then, pretty strong guy, and I would go up against two guys, 6'4", 6'5", 260, 270 pounds, and they were so happy with their non-medical marijuana that I could throw them both around. And back then, the marijuana didn't even have the potency that it has today. Today, it is tremendously stronger in the effect that it has on individuals. Maybe I'm one of the last of the Mohicans, but so be it. I will stand with my beliefs. Thank you.
So I have a motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Commissioners. Have a great day.
Thank
And that
you.
will be as amended 3-1, with Commissioner Crowe voting no to grant the appeal.
Okay, and I believe that concludes our PZ items.
Can I ask?
Wait, hold
I'm
on.
sorry.
PZ3?
Yeah.
Oh, we have PZ3.
I need a clarification. They're asking for 0 parking spaces. How many units are we talking about that they're going to be building here? This is my district.
So, Commissioner, so this application, they're building 2 units, of which 3 parking spaces are required. They will be providing 1 space on site with this application.
Look, I could tell you that this area here needs parking. All you have to do is go any time of the day, and particularly at night. Every single space in the street are full. And the only thing that we're going to accomplish by approving more construction with no parking is a bigger mess. So I can't vote for this without at least 1 parking space for each unit. How big are the units?
So the units are roughly 1,400 square feet. So they're 2-story units.
Yeah, these could be 3-bedroom units that size. That could be our 3 bedrooms. Am I correct or not?
So the applicant is here.
Good afternoon, Commissioner. Alex Uribe with office at 2800 Ponce de Leon Boulevard here on behalf of the applicant. The units are 2-bedroom, and by the project owner, George Abreu, is here. He's here to help answer any questions, but they are 2-bedroom units. And the reason that this all came about, and if I can maybe add some color, is if you look at the site, and I'm happy to pull it up for you if that'll help. This site is a substandard site. It's small, 3,700, almost 3,800 square feet.
The real estate size?
The entire lot size is 3,794 square feet.
My God. you could barely put one unit, and you're putting three and no
Well,
parking?
no, we're putting two. We're putting two, and it's zone T4, T4L, which you could put an additional unit, but we're not doing that. And the reason that
Yeah, but how can they be building in a lot that's so small?
So part of the enabling way to do that is to have the parking flexibility. If they're having to provide all three spaces, it kills the project. The zoning
But
does allow.
How in the world can you build? I mean, I grew up in Miami that you needed 5,000 square feet. You know, if you got an exception, it was because just a little bit less. But we're not even going anywhere near 5,000 square feet of land. And let me put it on the record. I don't know who the developer is. I don't know the attorney. I'm just looking at what they're asking for and seeing the mess that we have in District 3 in particular. Some of it, I think, runs into 1, maybe 4. But in District 3, whoever sat here decades ago, they decided that they would allow these 3-story structures that had 28, 30, 32 small units in each little building and no parking. And this created today such a mess in Little Havana, in all that area, that I for one am not going to be in favor of creating more of a mess. I can understand developers making a profit, and I respect that. That's, the American way. But they're trying to squeeze a tremendous amount of dollars out of a lot that you shouldn't even be building at. It was probably cut off from another lot, and now they're coming to build. You say 3 units, he's telling me 2. I don't know what the number really is.
It's 2 units.
It's 2 units.
And if I may, Commissioner, the size of this lot has been determined for many, many years. It wasn't the fault of anybody who's here now. It's a legal non-conforming site. And the issue that we're trying to deal with, and the reason why we're asking for this reduction, is because there's a jog at the back of the property. It cuts in and it forces any structure that you're going to build has to come forward towards 8th Avenue. And so when you couple that with the fact that Miami 21 only allows parking for 30% of the facade width, the entire width of this property is about 39 feet. The building is 29 feet, so you have 5 feet and 5 feet setbacks on either side. That only allows 1 parking space. 30% of that is 8.7 feet.
And what that tells you is that you shouldn't be building there, and if you are building, it should be 1 unit, not 2. And who's going to suffer? It's going to be the people in that area. And then whoever they rent it to or sell it to, whatever they're going to do there, they're not going to have parking space and more people fighting in our streets to park their cars.
Commissioner, even if you were to build 1 unit requires 2 spaces. You would still have to. You would still not be able to fit it.
That's correct, but you're offering 1. So at least I would be willing to go with 1 unit with 1 space.
There is a space recognized by the MPA as on-street directly in front of this property that they are counting, and that was also part of what was reviewed by the plan.
That space is probably taken out at night by all the other neighbors that live there with units that were built decades ago that don't have the space to park in their properties.
The other thing I would say, Commissioner, is this is a block and a half off of the transit corridor. You got it within walking distance of everything that's on 8th Street as well. So it's not far enough away.
Look, I'm 1 vote here. It's my district. But I will tell you that argument, I don't buy it. Because I've been hearing that for so many years, and we have the same problems. Here in Miami, transit absolutely doesn't work because we don't have enough of it. That's why everybody has a car. And you could tell me all you want, it's a block away from a bus, Metro Rail, People Mover, and it doesn't take you to too many places. So that's my opinion.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
I'd actually like to move to defer the item. I'd like to personally check out the site.
Second.
So I have a motion to defer and a second. All in favor?
Chair, to what meeting?
To what meeting?
The next meeting.
The 20th? Okay. The
Thank you.
item has been deferred to November 20th.
And was that unanimous?
Unanimous.
Thank you.
At this time, we are going to recess our commission meeting. We will return to open for the shade meeting. So what time is it? 12:30, 1:30, 2:30. We'll be back at 2:30, and then our city attorney will make a statement, and we'll go into the shade meeting. Thank you all for your advocacy.